with 70 points in 80 games and, throws 100 and some hits and fights twice or something. And I think we're going, that'll do.
Yeah.
I'd like to see who is on that line alongside what we assume is Austin Matthews. And is it Michelli?
Yeah. This is an interesting one. I am curious to know your thoughts on this. 5'11", pass first guy who had 18 points last year.
Dubas is in ruins that he didn't make this trade, by the way.
You know what my first thought is? He's a playmaker, and I like that.
Yeah.
I don't see, and you know how I feel about Matthews and Tavares, that they're goal
Fighting
scorers.
to shoot the puck.
They're fighting to shoot the puck. They're hanging around the net. They're not making the plays. That was always Marner's responsibility. And, is he going to get the chance to be that guy? It's a long shot to replace Marner with a third round trade.
Yeah.
I think we should say right now,
That's
on
not
the record
point
for Michelli, for his sake, I don't think he's coming in here to replace his
Coming in
production.
to replace
So you're-
Domi or
yeah,
something
maybe.
like that.
You're still holding out for probably a Brad Marchand signing, right, at $8 or $9 million.
Hotly contested debate. Michelli wears 63, so there's the opportunity for him to collect some money from Brad if Brad were to sign Toronto. But I think what's fascinating about Michelli is, to me, it's good process. And he's a buy low guy. This is a guy last year had 57, the year before had 57 points in 82 games. The year before that, he had 49 points in 64 games. And, elite vision, offensive skills, again, not Marner, but I am curious to see what the warts are. You don't have a guy who's this young.
Consistency.
Yeah. I
That's
was just
the
saying,
worst.
you don't have a guy that puts up this many points at that age who then is healthy, scratched a whole bunch, and gets traded for a future third-round pick if there aren't warts.
I mean, there's a guy that's around the same stature in this very city where if the Mammoth fans traded for them, upside.
Is that Robertson?
Yeah.
He felt.
Robertson's not a 60-point.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
he's shot it in the net a lot, and he had promise. He was a high pick. There are some definite comparables in terms of.
He fell out in Utah because they had a bunch of other small players too, and
Someone was on
he's
the
just expendable at that point.
lost some confidence,
But,
had some injuries. it sounds
these-
like.
Some of them call him a bit of a wizard with the puck,
Yeah.
which nicknames him Harry Potter.
Yeah. It's great.
Is that
There's
actually-
enough guys on the Leafs who are opening up in the offensive zone looking to get a shot. If someone can just find their way through. Mitch obviously was exceptional at that.
Yeah.
Michelli will have the chance to be useful in that regard, but either way, it's good buy low process. And then it kind of opens up, okay, does that mean you'd flip Nick Robertson and get that pick back?
they're
Or
trying.
Domi?
They have to unload money.
Yeah.
They're trying real hard. So, Yarncroc, Camp, Robertson, and probably Max Domi are out there right now.
Yeah.
With their salaries between $2 and $3 million.
Yeah.
So I saw Kevin Petty tweeting about this, that Domi signed the 4-year, $15 million contract last season. Once his signing bonus is paid tomorrow, 50% of the $15 million will be paid, and he carries a 13-team no-trade list.
Yeah.
So, attractive to a team that, is looking for cap number and doesn't actually want to pay a ton of money. I'm sure there'd be some suitors for him out there, but
You do hate to lose. Obviously, he had a couple great moments in the playoffs. And I think it's unlikely that he goes. It's much more likely that he stays. But you know what name out there appeals to me? Were they to lose Domi, and actually appeals to me even if they keep him, is Pizzetta from Montreal. And I think you guys know it's like a running joke that I absolutely love this player.
Yeah.
He just is. He wants to punch people in the face all the time. He's 6'1", 220, and he's angry, and he plays angry. And I'm just dying for the Leafs to have someone who wants to be angry.
Which kind of makes a real interesting dilemma for a guy like Steve Lorentz, who was really shot out of a cannon from day one at training camp. He stood out as a guy that had size and could skate. He scored a couple of early goals.
New Jersey, he went bar down, backhand in the slot for second game of the year. I was like, oh my God.
And now
like Sundin in the first two games.
He's going to be unrestricted tomorrow and free to sign with anybody he wants. And I found it interesting that he's still out there.
You know what? If this guy had any anger, any meanness at all, he's the
smile too
nicest
much.
person. I love the person.
Just smile too much.
Too
Just
much.
a touch. Just a touch too much.
he has all the tools. I like how he skates, his size. I like his offensive sense, defensive
Kill
responsibility.
penalties.
Great team guy. Everyone loves this player. But it's like, when you get in playoffs, you just like, can you just, you're so big. Just give him one. And a team that was dying for that, if he had shown a little bit of that, there's no doubt right now he'd be signing his 3-year, $4.5 million contract, and off you go. But
Can I ask you now that this is it? You mentioned it when we were talking about Nyes, but Friedge tweeted that he's been being told that Ekblad is staying in Florida. So
Yeah.
that helps Marchand to Toronto.
I gotta ask, does that mean what that means? Like, can they keep all three of those guys, or is that a sign that
I
Bradley
think so.
might be out the door?
I was told well over a week ago, 10 days ago, that was their number one mandate to try to fit them all in. And I was told that Ekblad could be the real key in all of this, of not taking a raise. But maybe he did. Maybe it's a slight one. But if he came in 6.5 times 8, wouldn't surprise me at all.
Well, and Romanov from Long Island, he just signed an
8-year, 6,
6.5.
yeah.
And I wonder because that was announced, I wonder if that ended up being the conversation. Like, do you think you have a better 8 years ahead of you than Romanov? And it's like, wow, maybe we're about the same
Cubs,
player.
and he doesn't.
Oh, yeah. So it's like, okay,
I can play in big moments.
Top pair on the best team in
So it's like, that's
last
my
20
floor.
years.
So the conversation about what my floor is over, because that's my new floor. I'll do it for 7, or whatever. So I bet that helped things along.
Yeah. So all that's left right now is basically Brad Marchand. Where do you stand?
Yeah. Where do I stand?
No, where does he
Oh,
stand? I don't
what-
care where.
you know where I
Nobody
stand.
cares where we stand.
Wow, I think some people might care where we stand. Where do you stand?
I'm not as sure as you two. I'm into it.
Is Kipper sure? Like, I don't know if I've ever really.
On Marchand?
Yeah.
You want to give him, what did you say the one day? 9 million?
No, Biz said 9.
Yeah, that's the number that was out there.
You want to give him 9?
I'm telling you that's the number that was floated out there.
No, but if you are,
Yeah.
if you are Brad Kiprios or Nick Treliving,
Yeah.
are you going to sign that contract?
Am I trying to win the Stanley Cup next year?
You are.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm signing him to 9. And I'm just going to eat it if I have to.
Plug your nose.
If they get Waugh back from Vegas and they, maybe it's Zeta instead of a Lorentz or
Tanner
something
Jeannot.
like that.
Tanner
Tanner
Jeannot's
Jeannot is another one that's attempting
Yeah.
because he likes to fight
Yeah.
and shoot it in the net a little bit
Yeah.
more, definitely more than Pizzetta. You can find a way where you go, okay, they're spending a bit more money in the bottom of the lineup for once. Maybe you're getting some more out of those guys. Is that enough?
Maybe
Are
not
you getting
better,
less-
but
are you
different.
getting less out of the top of the lineup? At the very least, you can